Previously on My Big Fat Obnoxious Boss, Mr. Todd tested Mike and Damien's focus in the strangest boardroom ever. And the mystery boss decided Damien must go.
Damien, get the hell out of my office.
Leaving Mike to battle it out.
Oh my God!
With Carrie and Annette.
Please don't roll your eyes. I know you're unhappy that I'm here.
And for their final challenge,
And you're going to start with the chicken.
each contestant had to barter up for the most valuable object possible.
Who's gonna want to take a chicken and give me something in exchange?
You take the chicken, do whatever you want with it, and we can work out a deal.
Then, back at the boss's office, Carrie's banged-up DVD player was no match for Annette's watch and Mike's bottle of fine champagne.
Carrie, get the hell out of my dad's office.
Leaving Mike and Annette to battle it out in the final showdown. And now, tonight,
Run for your lives.
after weeks of competing in twisted corporate challenges, weeks of surviving Mr. Todd's warped antics,
Robert, you're short.
weeks of buying into television's most elaborate con,
Welcome to my world.
and with $250,000 on the line, Mr. Todd makes the stunning revelation that everyone's been waiting for.
I am not in Paul Todd. And Iocore does not exist. The real boss is behind those doors right now.
It's a mind-bending series of twists as the mystery boss's true identity
It is time.
is exposed.
Oh no.
Is this for real?
Welcome to my world.
From the very first day, I was underestimated. I've gotten this far. I'm in the top 2. I'm going to prove to everyone out there who ever doubted me, this Jersey girl definitely has business being the next executive for Iocore.
It's for all the marbles. It's the final 2. It's not going to come down to luck. It's going to come down to who's the better competitor and who is better fit for this job. Get a little something. And do I truly feel that that is me? Absolutely.
Your victory today brought you one step closer to joining the Iocore family. And so there was a letter on the table, and it basically said that we have gotten to know Mr. Todd and his crew, and now they want to get to know us a little bit better.
Wow.
Expect 6 guests. Warmly, Iocore.
Wow.
6.
So we sent Mike and Annette this invitation. As far as they were concerned, we were just coming over to raise a glass and toast their success.
Hey, they're all here.
Hi.
But in reality, the reason I was there was to shatter everything they thought they knew about the way this game is played.
Here's to, first of all, my competitor. May she have luck. She's going to need it. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
You're here.
As the night went on, it felt like more of a family environment. It definitely did. I truly believe that there was no guards up.
At a key point in the evening,
Say it again.
I pretended to take an important call, planting the seed that something was not right at
No,
Iocore.
that's good. That's it. Bye. Yep.
Mr. Todd seemed to be a bit down after taking a phone call.
Lynn.
Not because I'm being cocky.
Yes.
But
Come over.
I could tell that something was upsetting him. He asked Mike and myself to sit down.
Gather around. I just have a quick announcement I want to make. The information that I have to give you is actually something that's going to dramatically change the outcome of this contest.
Ooh.
As you know, I'm the chairman and founder of IOCOR. There is, however, a group of general partners who actively participate in the management of the business. Consequently, I will not be making the final decision between you. Tomorrow you'll be meeting with two of the senior members of IOCOR's board. They will make a final assessment, judge you on your merits, and they will be making the final decision about you. I will, of course, make a recommendation to them in the morning, and that will count as one vote. But beyond that, I have no influence over their decision. I have no influence over their 2 votes.
That's it.
Don't hold back. Be frank and candid.
No holds barred, right?
No holds barred.
Does it bother you that you don't have more of a major role in the decision, or no?
It's a long story. Yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. With that, I'm going to say goodnight.
Mr. Todd, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And
It's ridiculous that at this point it should be based on the merits of your performances and your challenges. I don't know why we're still going down this road. It's about merit now. I mean, with the last 2, we shouldn't have to get in front of members of the board.
thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. I don't think that the representatives know Mike or myself well enough to make a judgment call on who would be the best executive.
Fight that battle like you're the last 2 people out.
Absolutely.
All right?
Absolutely.
Go get
Thank
it.
you again.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Make you proud. Thank you. But now that it's not up to him and there's 2 other representatives who are choosing, it's anybody's game. It could be Mike, it could be me.
Last night we were asked to go to the boss's office, in which we were going to meet 2 big guys on the board of IOCOR. They're trustees, and
They are the majority shareholders in the company. They were going to be the ones who kind of had the final say. Mr. Todd seemed a little upset that he couldn't make the final decision. This was his baby. And all of a sudden at the end, it's going to be decided upon from 2 board members that weren't even there for any of the challenges. Personally, do I like it? Absolutely not.
I think that there's a very good chance that I could win this game. I think that Mr. Todd is going to have that 1 vote in my direction, and then it's going to come down to the other 2 executives.
so someone's definitely going tonight.
Probably.
If I impress these 2 guys, fantastic. If I don't, I know I fought the battle that I came here to fight.
If they see me for who I am, they're definitely going to want me working for them.
Before the mystery boss rendered his final decision, we decided to stage one final test. And in business, possibly the greatest test of all. The 2 board members were actors. This entire board inquisition was designed as a test of loyalty to N. Paul Todd.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm John Benjamin, and this is Michael Delaney.
Nice to meet you, John. Michael.
Michael and I represent a majority of the board of IOCOR. Perhaps you thought that Paul had complete autonomy for the selection process. But believe me, That's not true. The board of IOCOR has input on every important executive decision, including the winner of this contest. Quite honestly, we didn't believe in this entire project. TV, especially a reality show. But what's done is done.
If I may, John, Paul has a particular vision of the real business world, as he calls it, and he has designed this game to reflect it. But what you need to understand is that we don't always approve of his means.
So, now it's time to defend yourselves. Annette, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
Michael, if you wouldn't mind waiting in the lobby.
Absolutely. Good luck, Annette.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye.
We laid the perfect trap. Because Mike and Annette believed that the board members could outvote me and choose the winner of the game. And these guys made it perfectly clear that they did not agree with the way I did business. So with $250,000 on the line, what would these contestants say to win? Would they stay loyal and defend my bizarre business practices? Or to win the board's favor, would they sell in Paul Todd down the river?
Annette, do you believe there's any merit in Paul Todd's business ideologies?
And this is swimming with sharks, ladies. I'm a killer whale. Screw the other guy before he screws you. The weak only survive if the strong are weaker.
I don't think that the world is all that bad. I don't. So a lot of the ideologies that he has, I don't agree with. I really don't.
Well, in your opinion, does this game in any way reflect the real business world?
I think during some of these games, we did have to lie and we did have to come up with schemes and stories. And in the real world, I don't think that I really have to do that.
Is your point then that because of the necessity to win the game, morality could slip?
It's fertility camp, from a woman to a woman. I could be your niece or your daughter.
Or honesty?
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm Heather. It's nice to meet you. Jessica Simpson's older sister. Yeah, I didn't agree with it, but I made myself believe it for the sake of the game, for the sake of staying in it, and to win. Yeah.
It's okay to do anything to win?
I mean, this is a game, and after this is all said and done, I'm going to be the sweet, honest person.
Very few games pay $250,000.
That I am.
Yeah.
That's true.
In one of the challenges, you were asked to create a mascot for a chemical company.
Making drinking glasses found in bug spray. Hydrocyanic acid's used every day by Drycon.
Were you aware that hydrocyanic acid is actually the proper name for cyanide?
No. I had no idea that hydrocyanic acid was cyanide. No. Honestly, no idea.
Looking back, with that knowledge.
With that knowledge, would you do it differently? Do something differently?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a little bit guilty, telling children that this was safe and, it couldn't necessarily harm you. Yeah, would I have changed our pitch? Possibly. Yeah, possibly.
That's Drycon Rock! Come on!
Yeah, I feel a little bit guilty.
Does it still seem proper, with that knowledge, to make a mascot?
No, I don't think a mascot necessarily goes with cyanic acid. I don't think so. But then again, I mean, just because I don't think that's true. No, I'm just going to say that no, I don't think that a mascot would go along with acid. No.
Okay. During one of the eliminations, Mr. Todd said, and I quote, in business, the cost of surrounding yourself with winners is that sooner or later you will be betrayed. He said that his colleagues, Jamie and David, are, quote, so aggressive.
They're so talented. I mistrust them. And that's why I trust them.
I am a little confused with that, to be honest.
So you don't really agree with this?
I don't think so, no.
Annette, are you telling us what you think we want to hear? Because we really want objective,
right.
Honest.
There are no wrong answers.
I'm telling you the way it is, and if I agree with what he says, I'll let you know, but if I don't, I don't.
Do you respect him?
I definitely respect him. Regardless of what his beliefs are, he's gotten to where he is for a reason.
Do you think he's a moral person?
Yeah, I do. There was a lesson in everything that we did. Yes.
That's very interesting.
There was a lesson.
Me?
Yeah.
Do you believe in Mr. Todd?
In the beginning, no. Now, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you send Mike in?
Absolutely.
Michael, in hindsight, it may have been irresponsible to revolve the board on this kind of a show, especially in light of the transcripts we've received detailing your experiences. Now, we'd like to hear a few details of what you've learned from N. Paul Todd. In your opinion, how did this show reflect the real business world?
I love it when you squeal.
The challenges we did were out of the normal, out of the ordinary challenges. And in the business world, sometimes you are going to have out of ordinary circumstances, which, to you, on paper, you might say, this is crazy. What am I doing this for? Why are we going after this client? Why are we going after that company? And in hindsight, everything I've learned, now I won't be questioning that.
Help me out for a second.
Yep.
Echo ponds were what exactly?
I think they were all natural tampons.
What were they made of?
I think they were made of like hay and grass and sticks. I mean, they look like a toilet paper roll. Yep.
And this didn't in any way bother you?
No, not at all. Because that like I said,
You saw a real need for this?
We saw 6 people that had a need for it. We sold 6 of them.
In one of your challenges, you were asked to create a mascot for a chemical company.
Dun dun dun! Captain Drycon! My cape is made of hydrocyanic acid. That's how I can fly around!
Were you aware that hydrocyanic acid is actually the proper name for cyanide?
No, I wasn't. Ooh. Wow.
Cyanide kills people.
Cyanide does kill people.
That's the purpose of cyanide.
Absolutely.
You're aware of it.
Absolutely.
Now that you're aware of it, you stand by your being all right with creating a mascot.
That was the
for
job.
This chemical company.
That was the job that we were told to do, so absolutely.
It was purely a practical business.
Absolutely, purely a practical business sense.
Do you subscribe to Mr. Todd's belief that a good salesman can sell a sandwich with a side of crap?
And a
Sickle for dessert.
as distasteful as that sounds.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. I truly believe if you know your product, whatever...
Okay, you know your product is crap.
Hey, I know my product's
So
crap.
you know your product now is crap.
Absolutely.
And you believe that you should be able to sell it.
Absolutely. If I can't sell it, I shouldn't be sitting in this position right
Have you
now.
ever sold crap?
Not literal crap, absolutely not. But I have sold things that were crap. Absolutely.
Now, of all the lessons that Mr. Todd has taught you, which is the most memorable?
Most memorable lesson? I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something that has nothing to do with the challenges. It has to do with Mr. Todd on the basketball court against David.
He's 52 years old. I'm surprised he's making it up and down the court.
You got a jock strap on?
Your little girlfriend.
It showed me that he schooled David, who, is got 25 years is younger. And it just proved to me that, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, and Mr. Todd was not losing to him. That just from that one basketball game, it showed me the lessons that he's trying to instill in all of us, and I was totally blown away.
What do you think of Mr. Todd's brand of criticism?
I like Mr. Todd's brand of criticism.
Let me tell you something. You look like a terrified third grader at a spelling bee.
He's like me. He's right to the point. He tells you how it is, and if you can't deal with it, go home and cry in your pillow. What are you going to do?
You don't see a cruel streak to it?
No, not at all. Don't see a cruel streak at all. I don't.
Sleeping on the street?
I slept on the street.
Not cruel?
Not cruel. Lesson learned.
Good form of criticism.
Good form of criticism.
So it all made sense to you?
All made sense to me.
All tied in?
All tied in.
Would you follow Paul Todd into battle?
I would follow him. I would lead him into battle. I would absolutely be...
Do you think he'd let you?
I don't know if he'd let me, but if I could take a bullet for him, I absolutely will.
It's an obvious question, but I must ask it. Do you respect him?
I respect him immensely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we'll reconvene and give you our answer.
There we were, our final day. And in a matter of hours, Mike and Annette would find out which of them was the winner of this whole charade. Their minds were reeling, trying to figure out how their performance in front of Iocor's fake board would affect their fate.
Based on just the time I spent with the two representatives yesterday, I don't think they may go for me just because... I don't know. I think that they see me as being maybe a little bit more positive, and I think that they're looking for someone positive to work for Iocor.
I made it a point to let the board members know that 100% I backed Mr. Todd with anything that he threw at us during these challenges. The fact that they could overrule Mr. Todd 2-1 had no weighing on my answers. If they don't want to value my opinion, then you know what, oh well. They had a lot of questions about Mr. Todd that really surprised me. They questioned his morality, they questioned his ethics, they thought he was a loose cannon, and they're not sure if they can trust him 100% of the time. That's the feeling I got. Hello? Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey. Same thing, boss's office later on tonight.
Oh, really?
That's all they said.
All right.
That's it.
Keep my focus.
Annette and I talked, and we said, we wouldn't be surprised if we walked into the boss's office tonight, and they said, due to the questioning last night, Mr. Todd might be, extricated from his position.
So Mike and Annette show up at the boss's office to meet the two board members and hear their final decision. Or so they thought. It was a familiar sight. Not necessarily the faces you were expecting to see, though, huh?
No.
Tell me, how did your meeting with the board go?
Interesting.
Yeah? What was interesting about it?
Go ahead.
They questioned you a lot. You know, it almost seemed like they were checking up on you. It's what it felt like. It felt like they were checking up on you to see how you were doing.
I think they just didn't agree with how you held your challenges and how you were going to hire the next person at IACOR. I don't think they saw it deemed fit, for their eyes. Absolutely not. And I think that's where they questioned it.
Well, I'm sitting here and they're not.
Exactly.
Because they have absolutely no bearing on the outcome of this game. You didn't really think that I would just leave the final decision to a couple of old suits, did you? Your review with the board yesterday, I designed it as a little test. I asked them to challenge you and to confront you on how well you've adopted my ideology. It was in its simplest terms. It was a test of loyalty. And I was behind the scenes, watching every move.
Ooh. Very nice. Very good move, sir.
So how do you think you did in your little test of loyalty?
I feel very confident. I like their line of questioning, and if they asked me the question, if you asked me those same questions, I would have given you the same answers.
How do you think you did?
I think I did pretty good. I was honest. In the end, I feel whether I win or not, I was honest. And there are some things that I agree as far as your ideologies, and there are some that I question. And I made a point of that.
You certainly did. And overall, I think you did pretty well. But for a few minutes there, you faltered. I mean, you were about to renounce me. But then you rallied, and I thought in the end that you said you believed in me. And I took note of that. Mike, what can I say?
Tell me.
You were a soldier.
I am a soldier.
Didn't matter what they threw at you, you defended me, and you defended our ideologies. And you said you would follow me in the battle, and not only follow me in the battle, but you would lead the charge.
Absolutely.
And I also took note of that.
Absolutely.
So now, having witnessed both of your stellar defenses, I'm left in a quandary. Because ultimately, both of you have failed me so miserably.
How's that?
You so clearly missed the message. And haven't I taught you anything? Haven't you heard one word that I've said?
I've heard everything.
Well, okay, I've told you that loyalty is a temporary asset. That in business, the only thing you can trust is that sooner or later you're going to be betrayed. Last night you could have done that to me, and I would have been proud. Those guys on the board were serving it up to you on a silver platter. They clearly had a completely different ideology than I did, and all you had to do was sell me out, and I would have known that you were the true corporate warrior that I've been searching for.
What does selling you out have to do with anything? I mean, that was my honest opinion.
Did you want loyalty or not?
Don't you remember? Don't you remember? I said, the reason that I trust these two is why?
Because you don't trust them.
Because I mistrust them. That's the cost of surrounding yourself with someone who's a winner. That sooner or later, they're going to turn on you and stab you in the back. You remember?
I do remember that, but my answers were how I felt about you. And if I believed in your philosophy that I'm a jackass, I think that's totally wrong.
Yeah. Okay, well, then you know what? Then the two of you are making it perfectly clear that neither of you are winners. Okay? So I can't in good conscience ask either of you to join my company.
Okay.
How's that?
What's going on?
Is it fair to say that I've invested an incredible amount of time in the both of you?
Absolutely.
Sure.
You both amaze me. This whole sense of honor, loyalty, morality, duty. I mean, these are all traits that N. Paul Todd does not recognize. They're all traits that do not exist in N. Paul Todd. Because N. Paul Todd does not exist. Iocor does not exist. My name is William August. And I am an actor.
This is a joke? I mean, do we just, take 5-6 weeks out of our life to make jackasses out of ourselves? Was that your ploy? Was that it?
Listen.
Have you ever been a CEO?
My job was to preside over an exaggerated corporate contest that gathered together business all-stars from all walks of life to test your mettle in the most extreme corporate competition that anyone's ever conceived.
Crazy.
Wow.
This is not David Hickman. And this This woman's name is not Jamie
Are
Sanders.
you an actress too?
She is certainly not my executive vice president.
All right.
This is not my son. This is not my wife.
Hello, Lynn.
And this, though she looks a lot like me, is not my daughter. Shannon is certainly not my executive
Bravo.
assistant.
Bravo.
And Jason?
Jason.
Jason is not my bodyguard. Listen, we're all actors. While I'm fake, and Iocor is fake, and the Iocor family is fake, the game, the competition, and all your competitors were all very real. As real as the two of you. Well, every challenge was quantifiable and had a valid winner and loser. And nobody was ever eliminated unless they lost a challenge or they were put on the chopping block by one of their teammates.
Who decided who left? Who got eliminated?
I was not actually the one making the decision. In fact, I have been consulting with the game's ultimate decision maker, someone behind the scenes, without whose approval you two would not be sitting here tonight. This is someone who has selected the two of you as finalists and who is waiting to decide your ultimate fate right now. The $250,000 exists. And one of you is about to walk home with $250,000.
Wow.
The real boss is behind those doors right now. And it's time for you to meet him.
Yeah.
Are you interested?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's go. Stand up. Follow me. I ask you again, are you ready to meet the boss?
Absolutely. Oh no!
This is
Oh
Mowgli.
my god.
He is the true boss behind the scenes. All the final decisions about the eliminations were made exclusively by him with the spin of this wheel.
Oh my god. He spun the wheel every single time? Oh my god!
You might think this is some kind of a joke, like Iocor itself has been some kind of a fiction. Nothing could be further from the truth. Everything that you've earned, all your accomplishments have been gained on your merit. But for this competition to be truly reflective of the real business world, there has to be another factor in the equation. One other essential and irrefutable element. Luck. Now, if you think about it, being in the right place at the right time, having that one all-important break go your way can make a career, right?
Absolutely.
Or win you $250,000 on a business ship. And now, just like every other elimination, it is time for the boss to render his final decision. to spin that wheel one last time and determine which of you is going to walk away with $250,000. What do you say we go back into Mr. Todd's office? It's an appropriate setting for a decision of this magnitude.
The boss is a monkey. And I said, are you kidding me? I was in a state of shock. It was like one of those things that, you know, you take yourself out of your body and you're seeing it from above. And you're like, what is going on?
I was absolutely I-Core material. I was exactly what they were looking for.
Shall we?
My God, there is no I-Core. I mean, I was so tricked by them, and you know, I thought, like, and Paul Todd really liked me, and he really wanted me to work for him. But you know what? That monkey better spin my picture, because I want to win that $250,000.
Here's the deal. We're going to spin this wheel for $250,000. One of you takes it home, and one of you doesn't. So, Mike, you ready?
I'm ready.
Annette.
Bring it on.
Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Oh. There is one more thing. You thought you were playing for $250,000? We're going to up the ante by $100,000.
$350.
You're going to be spinning this wheel for $350,000.
Holy crap.
Boss!
Is this for real? Is this for real? Is this real?
Congratulations.
Annette, congratulations. You just won $350,000.
Oh my God. Really? Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Annette,
Oh my God.
I got a fat paycheck for you.
Oh my God.
$350,000.
Oh my God.
Sit down.
Oh my God.
Mike, you know, unfortunately, there's winners and there's losers.
Something will be out there for me.
Man to man, your honesty, your strength of character, your integrity, I swear to you, Mike, will leave an impression on me the rest of my life.
As you
I
are.
really appreciate having you here with you.
Thank you very much.
Which is why, for you, with all of our respect, I have a check in the amount of $200,000. Not bad for a month's pay.
Not bad, not bad. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's nice. That's a real check, too.
You know, allow me to say, I think you'd just be the ultimate stroke of luck for any corporation to have one of you guys join their teams.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mike, Annette, take your money. Get the hell out of my office.
Thank you.
Thank you.